to Valley Spotlight and happy Sunday, everybody. Don't worry, Mike Case, he's standing by, but today, Vernon.
Hello, everyone.
Vernon, good to see you.
Great to see you, too.
All right, it's been a long time.
It's been a while.
And you guys have been so busy here at the Niles location.
It's been real good, thank
And we're
God.
showing off what it looks like, what it feels like now. Take me through the process. It's absolutely gorgeous in here.
Well, when COVID hit, we had a plan to do this about 10 years ago. And we finally able to do it because when COVID hit, they shut our banquets down and everything else.
Right.
So we were able to maneuver things and put everything in our dining room and banquet room and remodel the bar and everything else.
You remodeled the bar and literally everything else.
Correct.
Being able to take a time out to sort of focus on what you wanted it to look like and what you wanted it to feel like, sort of a blessing in disguise, but now that it's done.
We're happy with it.
Yeah, what has the response been from people walking in?
It's been really, really good.
We walked in
I didn't do
today.
it myself. Janine did all the decorating and everything else. We did the plan and everything else. We had things going and we changed it on the fly.
You did? Well, that people love that. Contractors love that, right?
No, they love it. No, of course they do.
They do. All right, so the construction started on the revamp of everything, and it took several months, right?
Yes. Closed the bar down December 20th. Moved everything over to dining room and banquet room, and then we opened up the week after Mother's Day.
Unbelievable, huh? All right, take me through some of the things that you think make all the difference. Whether it's customers coming in, or even for your staff being able to maneuver around differently. Because I feel like
it's a big difference. I mean, there's a lot more room in here now versus what we had before. It was nice and cozy before, and people liked it.
Yeah.
They liked the old look, but this is more modern and it's up to date and single entrance now, where it's not confusing. Before we had a couple different doors
Right.
to get into.
So
now you get in one entrance, you go to the bar, or you go to the dining room.
And you still have the banquet room for people that want to have small get-togethers, baby
We have
showers,
a small
things
banquet
like
room
that.
and we have the large one.
Both of them. All right, what is your favorite thing that has been accomplished? To look at it and be like, wow, is it the bar? Is it the bathrooms? God only knows,
The
right?
bar and the pictures.
Yeah? What are the pictures of? Because I know, but for people that are walking in and they don't know you guys,
My family.
means the world, huh?
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't expect to ask you that and get emotional.
No, it's fine.
It is family, and that is
That's what it's all about.
That really is. Even down to the recipes, down to the people that work here, you are literally being welcomed into their home in so many different ways.
Yes, it is.
It really is.
Yeah, it's a great feeling. When you got good people around you, it makes it work.
It sure does.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since we've been able to catch up with you guys, and we're so proud. And Steel Light International and John Miles, you guys use a lot of their stuff here. And the community that has surrounded you guys for so long, whether it's right here in Niles, downtown Youngstown, with the Rise Pies and all these different locations, you've had a tremendous run of success.
Been a good run.
And
26 years here and going strong. 3 generations.
Yeah, it keeps going, right?
Yeah, my son's in it now, so he wants to get into it and really focus on doing different things. We do ramen on Wednesdays now, and that's been a big hit.
And different pizzas. So the ramen is, I would imagine for younger folks and, people that are coming out and looking for something different and healthy and not going to weigh them down.
Yeah, it's funny about the ramen because I thought it was going to bring a lot of younger people in and everything else, and it's bringing a nice mixture in.
Really?
Which is really, it's really good. It's, everyone wants to try it and they're all excited about it and everything. So, because we were going to do sushi, but,
Okay.
our friends were doing sushi at other places.
Right.
So Marina and Trey got to me and said, why don't we do ramen? Because when Trey got back from school, he said, let's go and let's try ramen, because that's what he used to do when would come back from school. He made ramen for us at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I said, let's give it a shot and see what happens, and it worked.
And there is the story.
Yeah, it's the story.
We're going to catch up with you and Janine a little bit later.
Okay.
We're going to hang out here, and we're so glad to see you. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Another congratulations goes out to a young woman out in Sharon, Pennsylvania, who started a business during COVID, and it has turned into something remarkably special. And if you're thinking it's just something that you hang on the wall, well, no. This art is something that you're going to see out and about. Here is Becca and Lucky Gypsy. Well, it wasn't that long ago that we introduced you all, Valley Spotlight, to Becca. And Becca was this wonderful artist who, she and her daughter Willow we're making these, art projects and these special messages for people when they were in assisted living during COVID. And we've kept up with her, and she's just like this wonderful lady. And I follow you on social media. We are friends, and
we are.
I just, like, when I see certain things like pop up, I'm thinking to myself, I cannot wait to tell the whole world about stuff. And this is one of those things for, like, I don't know, like a million reasons in my own world. But Becca, congratulations.
Thank you.
On Lucky Gypsy.
Thank you.
This is the name of your new company.
Yes.
And it started sort of, it probably started like a long time ago when you were like a kid and learning to be who you were. But the bags and the art that comes along with it, we'll get to all that and tell you what the process is. But tell everybody at home and people that are, seeing you for the first time in this way, what this is all about.
Well, okay, so thank you, Lauren.
You're welcome.
It's always a pleasure. So Lucky Gypsy, I guess for me, well, we can rewind kind of quickly. I went to college I went to undergrad for fine arts. I went to graduate school for my MFA at Pratt Institute in New York City.
Big deal.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal.
That's a big deal.
It was, thank you.
You're welcome.
It was a big deal, although halfway through I switched my major to art business.
That's okay.
Kind of fell out. I fell out of making art, being creative, and life happens.
Right, and you're a mom and like moving and changing careers, and then COVID happens. And
So fast forward a lot of years,
all
COVID happened.
At home.
Yeah, so you find yourself with a lot of extra time at home, a lot of extra time to get inside your head or clean your house or do projects or
clean your house and clean your closets.
Clean everything. So I thought to myself, I feel like I need to grow. I need to bring back some creativity in my life. So I, took it upon myself to every night give myself like an art lesson. So I'd go online, I'd draw, I'd sketch, I'd just write in my journal a little bit.
Simple stuff. And not all this all at once.
No, and this is for me, like the kind of art that I was used to doing was more sculpture, or I guess in college, the major that I had was new forms. So I did a lot of like conceptual installation pieces, not something that's functional.
Functional art.
Yeah, this is not what I did in college.
No, it is
but
not.
This is fun, right?
But it is absolutely fun.
Yeah.
And you.
So I just started, I said, I think it would be really fun to like paint on bags. But I'm not really that good of a painter, so it's stop it.
Can we just go through
so
all of the examples?
It's actually funny though. Like, no, I got bad. Like, if I showed you the paintings that I did in college, they were so bad. I got C's in painting. Like, I was not good at painting, but I'm good with colors and textures. And so I bought some bags at a couple different, secondhand stores, and just started layering colors and playing with them. And I really I feel like I think I have something. And actually, where's my
the very first one?
Yeah.
Oh, the very first one. Oh,
no, the blue one.
Oh, the
one that you've claimed.
That I've claimed. The very first one. Yes, I did. I did do that today.
So this was you did. It's yours. But so this was my first one.
And you name them.
I do. Well,
because they're like a work of art for you.
Okay, so yes and no. I name them, but some of them don't have names, and I feel really sorry for the ones that don't have names. Like, I won't send them out without a name. So this one, it reminded me, the colors in it, I love the blue. It reminded me of Monet's Water Lily, so I named this one Water Lily. So yeah, this was my first one, and this one did have a name.
Don't mess it up.
So I'm actually doing a partnership with Grey Boutique in Boardman.
And I'm really on our show, so hi ladies.
I'm very excited about that, and I guess we might have stuff in the store a little earlier, but I know for sure that November 11th is their Christmas open house, and we will have the full line available there. I have goals to have, a customizable website where I'll be doing custom pieces and,
pick your colors.
Yeah, but it's a work in progress. There's a lot that goes into it. Yes, so, my Instagram is live, but getting ready to be booming with content.
What is the Instagram before we have to say goodbye and good luck, even though we're gonna, and like the painting, like to have the interactiveness with the kids and everything.
Yes.
I just am so grateful.
My Instagram is at LuckyGypsy_rescue bags. There's easy to find, so if you follow, then I'll have news, different items that you can purchase. And also, if you follow Grey Boutique It's at Gray Fashion Boutique. They're gonna have some release dates and everything. So I'm excited to be working with them. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Sweeney's gonna love that jacket she's working on. I know that.
I know. I'm excited about that too.
Couldn't be prouder of you. Beautiful stuff. Lucky Gypsy. These bags are very lucky that they're no longer just
Yeah, they're rescue bags because they're no longer sitting in a store waiting to be thrown in the trash. They're getting a new lease on life, and
we all know that they have lots of stories to
if
tell.
bags could tell,
Holy moly.
holy moly, yep.
I would want to lock all my bags in the closet and never let it out ever again.
No, exactly.
Thank you, Becca.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
and
much.
Good luck. We can't wait to see what else you're gonna do. Okay?
Stay tuned. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Always good to see great people doing amazing things, and she is most certainly one of them. If you want to follow the Instagram account, it is LuckyGypsy_rescue bags. All right, Mike, I know you're probably not in the market for any rescue bags, but you still have some great stories for us this week.
Well, thank you, Lauren. Boy, that place looks absolutely fantastic now, doesn't it? And I'm glad that Trey is going to be involved and keep the Vernon's name going forever and ever, because I promise to eat meatballs from him forever and ever. All right. You know how sometimes you say to, boy, that guy's got like 50 dogs or something. Well, that would be pretty close in the case of Jason Cook. Actually, it is 51. But what he's done is taken his work with animals and put it in his place. The Healthy Hearts and Paws Project is doing great things.
Yeah, we started it almost 3 years ago.
Yeah. With how many animals at the time?
4.
What do we have now?
We have 51 here at the shelter,
Uh-huh.
and we have almost 70 in foster.
51 dogs. And the shelter, by the way, is Jason Cook's house, too, here in Brookfield.
People ask me all the time, they say, well, how do you live with all those dogs? And I said, to be honest, I don't even know they're there unless there's strangers in the house or, you know, Amazon's delivering. They're all very, very quiet.
So you get some sleep.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
For Jason, it's a small price to pay. Most of the dogs he has are being sheltered and treated for heartworm, which can be a death sentence for dogs.
A lot of these shelters, especially in the rural areas, they don't have the funds to treat these dogs. And a lot of adopters are hesitant to bring a heartworm positive dog into their home because there's a lot of misconceptions that, you know, the dog's lifespan can be shortened. Of course it can be, but generally we get these dogs when they're very early into the heartworm disease. We get them treated and they lead long, happy lives.
Until recently, treating a dog for heartworm in a shelter environment was taboo. But Jason and his team are working to change all that.
Yeah, that's all we do is heartworm positive dogs, and we do medical needs dogs. I think part of it is we've changed the mindset of a lot of people when it comes to heartworm positive dogs. You know, 3.5, 4 years ago, a heartworm positive dog was viewed as unadoptable. Their treatment was said not to be able to be done in a shelter environment. And when I met with the commissioners in Mahoning County, I said, well, I at least got to try. And we've shown that these dogs are adoptable. They are treatable. You know, we can do it at a reasonable cost. And our hope is that, you know, shelters across the country, instead of euthanizing these beautiful dogs, we'll take the time and see the example that we're doing here in Brookfield, Ohio. We've treated now 450 heartworm dogs out of my home. So if they're at a shelter, we'll pull them from the shelter, we'll treat them, and then we'll find them homes. And we also assist people that have owned pets that have heartworm disease and get them through their treatment.
Changing people's minds is the biggest part of the battle. And you never know what fantastic things you can do until you have to do it.
We don't have a choice. If we don't do it, then the dogs get put to sleep. So we got to try. We lost 6 dogs due to heartworm treatment, but it wasn't because of the treatment. Those dogs were so far advanced that they were dead before they ever got here.
Yeah, and you saved
So 450.
Jason can't do it alone. He counts on some clever fundraising, like today, when he was hoping to raise money by walking the dogs for 24 straight hours. He has people helping just because they want to make a difference in these dogs' lives.
We're an entirely volunteer-based organization, and for an organization of this size to be able to say that says something about our volunteers. I mean, they commit countless hours every day, every week to help not only get these dogs fed, watered, clean their kennels, clean their crates, but also they socialize them, they volunteer their time at fundraisers. They do everything that they can to help these dogs, and we couldn't do it without them.
If that funding keeps up, Jason will be able to have an actual shelter built on his back property.
We're working on building a 10,400 square foot facility in the back here, and we're going to continue to help dogs.
Until then, Jason and his team will continue to help their four-legged friends, saving dogs' lives and doing everything they can. The good news is he hopes to break ground soon.
Oh yeah, I've been working really hard to get my home back, and I look forward to the day when I can have my life back. But until that day comes, I work with what I got, and it is what it is, and all the dogs are well taken care of for. All the dogs receive the necessary veterinary care, medication, whatever we got to do for them, we do.
What an awesome job. Thank you to Jason and his entire team, which, by the way, was there walking dogs, cleaning cages, and doing all the fantastic things in their kennels that they could do. So their next big fundraiser is December 3rd. It's a Project 400 raffle. If you'd like to know more about it, you can go to their Facebook page, Healthy Hearts and Paws Project, and find out all sorts of things. All right, we will take a break on this edition of Valley Spotlight and come back. Lauren on the other side, and we learn more about her next fantastic story.
Well, Ducat not only sells the product, but we service them. We have parts and service support for every machine that you buy at Ducat. You are purchasing a machine, it's eventually going to break or need work, and we are here to do that. You don't get that from an online sale or a mass merchant. They just don't have the ability to have the parts and the service. We send our mechanics to school every year. We have 2 Briggs & Stratton master service technicians. There are not many in the country, probably less than 5,000 in the country, and we have 2 at Ducat. And we also have gold certified steel mechanics and numerous certifications in parts and service for every brand that we carry.
So let yourself go to Ducat. Let yourself go to Ducat. Heels is the low-cost living anti-inflation department store.
Shop Hills in the Liberty, Lincoln Knolls, and Boardman Plaza's Youngstown, and the Ridgeview Plaza in Warren, and the Hills location in Champion, all open 10 till 10 daily.
At RC Compounding, their team of pharmacists specialize in erectile dysfunction therapies that don't have to cost an arm and a leg.
It's becoming more and more comfortable to talk about these things. And we're not doctors, but we're pharmacists. But you can call and talk to us, and we will tailor something to you. We will reach out to your doctor. We'll collaborate with you, collaborate with your doctor. We compound a specific drug for a specific patient.
RC Compounding, we care about your health.
Welcome back to Valley Spotlight. We are sitting at Vernon's Café, their new bar, their new restaurant that's been completely revamped. It's absolutely wonderful. But we all know this restaurant community that we all live in is vast and deep. And there's so many people out there, including a man named Tommy Matthews. And right now he is in the fight of his life, dealing with cancer, and he's a good friend of ours on the show. He spent some time with Mark Canzonetta in the Pesto's Test Kitchen, and they have a big unveiling that we just wanted to go down memory lane and make sure that we wish our good friend Tommy Matthews the best of luck.
Gosh, Pesto's Test Kitchen, look at what we have today.
My brother, Tommy Matthews, the one, the only. Nice to see you, Tommy. How you doing, brother?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome to the Test Kitchen.
Yeah, this is a big deal. For the folks at home who might recognize Tommy from our show, we have featured Crooked River Forge before and how he makes these unbelievable knives, but watching how they're made and then watching how they're used.
That's it. That's
in
what it's all
the hands
about.
that it really matters.
And
this is what it's
that's
about
what it's
today,
all about,
right?
exactly. I pride myself in taking, because I I hunt, so I like taking it from the field to the kitchen to the dinner table. So I like to make my knives for all those purposes. So to have a chef of this caliber to use my stuff on a regular basis, and
it's my pleasure, man.
And give me praise for
Get
it,
out of
man.
here,
It's
guys.
winning for sure.
No. Forge and Fire champion. If you haven't watched his show on Forge and Fire, season episode?
Season 5, episode 36 or 37, depending on what platform you're watching it on. I've recently come to know. So look for the steel takedown bow, which I didn't see that one coming, but
no. That was totally
ties into
and
what
the thing
I do.
is, you won on an element that wasn't inside of your skill set necessarily. Building a bow out of steel.
Right.
In how many hours?
I think we had, you get 4 days.
4
at your
days?
own shop.
4 days?
Yeah.
So the research that goes behind that, the thought process that goes behind that, you forged your own arrow tips, made your own arrows, everything. It's an amazing
supplied
piece.
the arrows, which was cool. They said you can make your own, but they gave us nice arrow shafts with fletchings already attached to them from turkey feathers, and we just had to put the tips on them, which, we had to make like 6 of those, so
great
to make them all.
So let's talk about what you do, man. How you got into this? You were in the steel business, right?
Yeah, I came up all the way from being a laborer, all the way up through as a purchasing agent and sales. Worked for some of the big steel companies in the area, selling and whatnot. And I was relieved of my corporate America duties, and I had just gotten into,
hobby at first?
It was a hobby. I was making furniture, and people ask me all the time, how'd you get started? I was a blacksmith. I wanted to kind of incorporate that into furniture that I was making. I was doing a lot of pallet, rustic stuff. And I got all the stuff, and the first thing I made was a knife, and I never worked on furniture again.
Well, you found your calling, because I'm absolutely... Everybody I show your knives to, you're already established yourself as a brand in the area. Just with a few different venues you've gone to, the Youngstown Flea, making some knives for me, which I'm honored to have in my collection, and the collection continues to grow, because these are my knives, and I have a lot more knives on the wall. But these are some commercial knives.
Right.
Tell me the difference between your knives, Tommy, and some of these commercial knives that are great knives, because this is both of our idol, Bob Kramer, right there.
Right.
And then we have Global, some great steel from Global in Japan, and then we have your absolutely custom-made set. So tell us the difference, why yours are better.
Because we know they are.
That's an honor to even be compared with Bob. He is kind of one of the... He brought Damascus back to the
because it was a lost art.
It was, and he is
the
kind of one of
recipes were forgot, how to forge it, how to make the steel,
and the patterns. I mean, you can see the patterns in here. This is multiple layers of steel that create patterns, and what he has done for the industry has kind of like just catapulted this.
And he's making knives with meteorites now.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like,
crazy
where do you even
stuff.
get that steel? I mean, I don't want to even have to foot the bill for the travel.
I know.
But my stuff is pretty much all made from high carbon steel, so you're going to notice,
just look at the craftsmanship in yours.
My stuff is not going to be all nice and shiny like this is a stainless steel Damascus pattern that Bob did.
But look at
here.
my test kitchen. It's very rustic.
It is.
And your knives are perfect for it.
That's what I pride myself on. People have come up to my table and said, "Oh, so you refurbish old knives?" And I'm like, no, but that's a great compliment, because I wanted my knives to look like my grandfather's old knives that I saw around the house growing up.
The old carbon steel, they got the patina to them.
The old Italian making sauce in his basement, and stuffing sausage, and using these old knives that have been sharpened so many times that the blade is kind of worn out.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what I want my knives to look like. So
I love it. I love it. So how long does it take for you to make a knife? I'm sorry, Lauren.
That's okay. Yeah.
I get that question a lot too, and it's hard to say because, as you probably know from seeing how much I bring to the flea, I'm making 10, 15 knives at a time. I cranked out that set, another set of 3, a couple other blades that were mixed into that were EDCs and hunters type stuff.
And that's what's great about how diversified you are, because there's a huge market for the hunters that need skinners and all of those different application knives. Exactly.
So to put it down to one knife, all I can say is in Forged and Fire, I made a knife in 6 hours.
Wow. Wow. And if you've never watched that show, the pressure, how hot is it in that forge?
It was August. It was in the 90s outside. We had 4 forges going in a room probably double this size. They said it was over 113.
How many studio lights above you lighting you?
All that too. You got to figure all that in. So they said somewhere around 113 degrees on the floor while we're working.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's incredible.
That's crazy.
That's incredible.
All right, so Mark, I have a question. All right,
Yeah.
so when you're looking at, just a regular set of knives, I would go to like Macy's and buy a set of knives, or I would register on my wedding registry for like Hinkle or something like that.
Yeah.
All good names, but when it comes to the preciseness and the accuracy and like the blade, what are you looking at when you are deciding for what you do in your kitchen? Because this is your kitchen.
I have a career that's spanning now a long time. I started collecting knives around 22 years old, and I showed Tommy some of those knives. So I've been collecting for almost 31 years. I've been collecting knives and use multiple different platforms of knives throughout, from both commercial, exotic knives like Tommy, Bob Kramer, things like that. I'm looking for a knife for me that's very well balanced in my hands, which Tommy's knives are so perfectly balanced, and they just really feel great in your hand. I'm looking for ease of sharpening, because I like a knife that retains an edge really, really well, and then it's easy to get that edge back with a honing steel. So I like that about his knives. And also I like how sexy they are. You know what I mean? You want a knife in your hand when you get to a point in your career that somebody looks at you and say, where'd that guy get that knife?
Yeah, looks good.
And I'm like, this guy right over here, Tommy Matthews. And so a lot goes into the thought process. And another thing too is, nothing against some of the knife makers you made, but I cut myself last weekend prepping in the kitchen, and it was like a surgical cut from a scalpel. So that means that that cut is going to heal very quickly, because it was a clean cut. When you buy some of those lower end knives that don't retain that edge, your cut's going to be a lot worse, and it's not going to heal. We're going to do some cutting when we come back.
Is that okay with
everybody? That is.
Can we take a break?
Sounds good.
You're going to stay with us?
I'm going to stay here because I love the smell of what's going on in here.
Yeah, we'll take you to see what we're going to be cutting up next.
Great job, you guys. Fork and knife. You can just put them together. I should see Game of Thrones. I'm way behind on this thing. I know. Well, in this very room, the Grand Cigar Lounge and Store here at the Grand Resort, we had a guy come in that started his own cigar company. I've always wanted to meet someone that did something like that. So here's the story of Henderson Ventura and Ad Ventura Cigars.
For me, it was a surprise. I've been in Ohio, I will say twice, but I've never been in a place like that in Ohio. I think it's a very special place to be.
Henderson Ventura doesn't get to Ohio much because he lives in the Dominican Republic, where he learned the cigar industry from his father, William, who worked for the famous Davidoff Cigar Company.
I started like about 15 years ago to blend cigars.
Yeah.
So I will say it took me about 7 years, to get the approval of my dad, that I'm.
His father's approval made Henderson what's known as a master blender, and eventually he started his own cigar line, Ad Ventura Cigars, with the family name right there for all to see.
We want that, we want people to recognize the name of the family as a brand also.
And when you put your name out there, you better have the talent and the product to back it up.
You need to trust yourself first. We've been putting a lot of effort to do something great with tobacco and the cigar. So I think we have enough experience on the manufacturing, the branding also, and we trust what we're doing.
5 years in, Henderson and his company are doing just fine. They've enjoyed the combination of a quality product and a cigar renaissance, thanks to the boutique premium cigar.
So we started to educate the consumers in terms of the tobacco that we were using on the cigar, so they can understand better why they experience that kind of smoke on this blend, or why they experience. They can have a better understanding what they like in a cigar. You don't need to be a millionaire to smoke a cigar. Any person, can afford a cigar. And the other thing is, with the social media, that we've been promoting cigar and posting picture of the cigar lifestyle, manufacturing. People have more access to see, what it's about, and also for us to share to people what we experience when we smoke a cigar.
His cigars start in the $12 range and they go up from there.
And we have a lot of passion and love. So when you have all that combined, I think it's very difficult that you fail. of that you can enjoy it. I will say, if you're truly a cigar smoker, you're gonna enjoy what we're doing, because we try to do everything right.
That makes a trip to Warren or anywhere else so valuable. Meeting people, sharing his story, and sharing his cigars.
But the most important thing for us is like that we can be able to share our passion face to face, you know, and see the reaction of the people when they light an Ventura cigar and they enjoy the cigar, and they, you know, tell you like, man, this is a real nice cigar, I really enjoy it. Super glad that I get to meet you, or I'm glad to come here and enjoy that cigar, you know, I never had it before. So this is what it's special about.
And we sell all the Ventura cigars right here at the Grand Resort, and they have a really cool raffle here for the holidays. If you get in and you get yourself a ticket and you win the grand prize, you get a bundle of cigars from every cigar smoker we did this year, which was like 5 of them. So you'll get about 25 cigars out of it, a whole box. Really cool. Stop in, see Javon, and sign up for that raffle. More Valley Spotlight coming up.
A to Z Dependable Services now offers walk-in tubs and showers in as little as 1 day. Let us create a safer bathing experience in your bathroom or the shower of your dreams. Call A to Z Dependable Services today for a free estimate, or visit us online at onlyatoz.com.
Welcome back to Valley Spotlight. This month is a month for giving, and at Rust City Church, they are giving back in a very big way, and there is one special lady behind it all.
So today at church, we are giving out these bags for people who would like to give out stuff, and attached is a list. So we need box stuffing, instant potatoes, canned corn, green beans, gravy packets, cans of yams, 1 box of cake mix and frosting, salt and pepper, cranberry sauce, aluminum roasting pan, and an oven bag. So those are some of the things that we're looking for.
All of those items help to give back before you kick back.
So we are having a Thanksgiving outreach called Give Back Before You Kick Back. We're super excited about it. Our goal is to give out 100 turkeys to families in need.
At Rust City Church, the process is pretty simple too, thanks to April Young.
We have it set up where people drive through and they don't have to get out their cars. Our outreach team will go through each car, they'll talk to people, they'll get them registered, and then you'll drive through. We'll know how many families are in your car. You'll get your turkey along with your other outreach items and whatever food we pick up from our regular food outreach. Okay. So they'll drive through and then they're able to go on their way. They don't have to get out their car. Yep, they're just sit comfortable, pop your trunk, and we'll load you up.
And if it were that simple, our story would end there. But what fun would that be? You see, April is not a Valley native. This is not her hometown. But the Valley has given her a home to use her many talents.
This is a place where if you are looking for opportunity, it's there. You just gotta look for it. And you can get a lot done if you know where the resources are. So that's why I'm happy to call the Mahoning Valley my home now. So I still love Philly and I like all the other places I've been, but I feel like this is where God has me and I'm happy to be here.
Years later, after culinary school in Chicago, April now holds a bachelor's degree and a master's degree from YSU. She spends her days helping educate parents on premature births. Her weekends and evenings are spent at Rust City.
So I think, you know, with all the things that are going on in today's world, people need to know that there are people who still love, people who are still kind, people who still are genuine and have a kind heart. And I think that it inspires hope in them when they're able to see that. So I think that that's one of the best things, whether it be for this outreach or the other outreaches that we do, just seeing that people know that there's love still out here in this world, despite all the craziness that's going on, and that it gives them a sense of hope.
And the Give Back Before You Kick Back event, the day before Thanksgiving, only helps April stay connected to one of her many passions, connecting people with meaningful meals. So you went to culinary school?
Yes.
So you know important food?
Yes.
You know how important it is?
I know how important it is for people to get together and fellowship. I think that there's something special about being able to fellowship over food. You can connect. It brings a sense of family. So we don't want people to go without that during this holiday season.
So, what's April's secret to a delicious Thanksgiving meal? We just had to ask.
When I went to culinary school, I created a stuffing recipe with chestnuts, walnuts, breakfast sausage, orange zest, and cranberries. And it is like, and for stage, it is like absolutely phenomenal. Yes.
What time is dinner?
I don't even know where I'm going this year because I said I was not going to do anything.
Hey,
so.
I'm doing my first one ever. Can I make it?
Yes.
I'm having people at my house for the
I will
first-
give you my recipe.
Please.
Yes.
I'm not even kidding you. I need to do a good job or my mom is going to like...
I got you. I'll give you my recipe. Yep.
Hey, Lauren, speaking of Rust City, of course, this area was the epicenter of the steel industry back then, and our Valley Spotlight historian, Sean Posey, is going to tell us a little more about the strike here in 1916 and then the riots that followed.
In the early morning hours of January the 7th, 1916, hundreds of steel workers gathered around where I'm standing now, in front of the Youngstown Sheet and Tube Hospital on Short Street, in what was East Youngstown and what is today the city of Camel. They sang, danced, gave speeches, and lit bonfires. Most of the men had been out on strike since Christmas, but until this point, very few outside the region had paid attention to the steelworkers' demands or to housing conditions inside of East Youngstown. But all of that was about to change. By the year of World War I, East Youngstown was the largest incorporated village in Ohio. But trouble lurked beneath the surface. A virtual company town, most of the men worked for Youngstown Sheet and Tube or Republic Iron and Steel. While they lived in substandard housing, and as inflation ate away their wages, the companies they worked for prospered from the surging cost of steel as the war in Europe raged. Increasingly angry, men began to go out on strike at Republic Steel. The work stoppages spread, and ultimately 16,000 men in local industry walked off the job. On January 7th, steel company guards and off-duty cops confronted strikers at a footbridge over Wilson Avenue. No one knows exactly what happened next, but after the guards fired on strikers, 3 men had died and many more were injured. Soon, flames began to shoot from a sheet and tube office not far from the bridge. The fire and violence spread to the East Youngstown business district, and 12 hours of rioting and chaos followed. Looters made off with everything from mattresses to cash registers and cases of booze. Entire buildings collapsed into the street as people ran to avoid the growing flames. Modest buildings and esteemed edifices, such as the Hammery Bank, went up in smoke. Firefighters responding to the blaze had to retreat in the face of hostile crowds. Power even went out in nearby Struthers, and crowds gathered in the street to watch the flames dance across the nearby skyline of East Youngstown. The next day, units from the state militia occupied the area and order was restored. East Youngstown early Saturday morning would inspire Dante to rewrite his Inferno, the Vindicator wrote. Over 25,000 curious onlookers poured into East Youngstown to witness the ruins. In the aftermath of the riot, the workers did receive a small raise, and strikes in the industry soon spread to places like Westinghouse in East Pittsburgh and Braddock, Pennsylvania. Sheet and Tube responded by embarking on a new endeavor, building safe and sanitary housing for its workers. The first of several plats of company housing emerged here off Robinson Road. Blackburn Plat, as it was called, became one of the first and most notable examples of precast concrete housing.
Thank you, Sean. Boy, he does a nice job, doesn't he? I love taking a look back at that stuff. If you'd like to know more about Sean's book, it's coming out. Keep an eye out in January for the hidden history of Youngstown and the Mahoning Valley. Easy to Google and easy to find. It's going to be a good one. All right, when we come back, Lauren is back in the kitchen with Pesto. We'll see what they have to offer after this break.
Whether it's dinner out with friends and family or your next catered event, Rachel's Restaurant in Austintown always makes it special and delicious. Award-winning cuisine, relaxing atmosphere, and so much more. Rachel's Restaurant, Austintown.
Salt Me is a company that produces products that are made out of Himalayan sea salt. I have a love affair with Himalayan sea salt. And as an ear, nose, and throat doctor, the most important thing for me is that the products are going to be effective and that they're going to be safe for patients. So I make products that help sinus conditions, and I make products that are going to be good for the skin and good for the body. And all of them are made of Himalayan sea salt.
In Pesto's Test Kitchen, we've got Tommy Matthews, we have Mark Canzonetta. I should just get out of the way.
I don't think so. We love having you here. I mean, you make it all come together, you know.
I'm like the glue.
You are the glue.
You guys are the bricks in this, you guys. We had a bunch of knives out before, and we were talking through some of the differences between how you make knives and why you like a certain knife a certain way.
I do.
And for you guys, you are a hunter.
I am.
And you understand that we go from turkey to turkey
to turkey.
Plate.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And this thing.
Well,
this looks amazing.
My chefs in the background, our chefs in the background back there, Jesus and Trayvon, they prepped this all this morning for us, and they did a fantastic job. So one of my favorite things is this time of year because it's meat time, man.
It is.
You know, we have a lot of vegan food on our restaurant bistro. I love it. We create it for vegans. But when it comes to fall, I love I call it proper prime rib. Proper prime, like an English prime rib. And then we have this magnificent turkey, and Tommy was going to get us one from his backyard, but they weren't cooperating.
No, they weren't coming yesterday.
What do you think about nature?
You got your little turkey?
But you can count on Hillcrest Food.
Yes, we can count on Hillcrest Food. They supplied everything today. They're one of our branding partners, and they do a great job for us.
I think they actually heard it, and then they made sure that we have the meat here today. So my gosh, you can hunt a different day, right?
Yeah,
we're going to
I
cut
will.
today.
So Tommy, what kind of knife do you like to use to cut like a prime rib? What would you recommend?
Well, I recommend for big cuts of meat, this Western French chef is what I call it. So it's sort of like the old French chef. I tend to have a Western kind of spin with the rusticness of the knife and everything. But as you can see, this is probably about a 9-inch blade on this knife. This is a big piece of meat, and we're going to have no problem getting through this
Oh,
cut.
absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, like, I go between different jobs. You know, sometimes I like an 8-inch French knife, a 10-inch French knife. Yours is perfect because it's utility for all jobs. You can cut around anything. Because a chef really only needs 3 knives. You need a French knife, you need a boning knife, and you need a paring knife. And you can pretty much accomplish anything you need to do in the kitchen with those 3 knives. So if you pay attention and you have a little bit of extra money in your budget, go to crookedriverforge.com, check out Tommy's knives. You're on a little bit of a wait because you're getting to be like a superstar now. So how long does it take for us to get one of your knives now?
Right now I'm about 4 to 5 weeks. The Christmas rush hasn't even hit yet. I have probably about 40 blades on my books right now, so please don't wait. Get in now so that you can have it for Christmas. I really don't know how many I'm going to be able to take before I have to cut it off.
Well, you're a one-man show.
I am.
And that's what's so special about it. You do this alone by yourself. You craft the blades, the handles, you do all the mill work, you do everything yourself. Exactly. And that's why, I mean, look, tell us about that handle because it's absolutely gorgeous.
This handle is absolutely gorgeous, and this is some of the only material that I've gotten. A friend of mine, Scott Johns, down in Jacksonville, Florida. This is called spaghetti oak, or it's a spalted oak. It's just a beautiful piece of wood. I don't know if you can pick up all this,
graining is just
spalting, and it does look like spaghetti. So that's kind of the nickname, spaghetti oak.
All right, well, let's see how that blade performs, Tommy.
All right.
And this is a great meal for the whole family, and
Well,
it's gonna
you know
be
what?
a
We
crowd.
do
It's
this.
gonna
I like to
feed
do a
harmony.
proper piece of prime rib on Christmas Day. I really like that. Now, when you cook this piece of prime rib, one of the most important things is you want to do, and the end cuts are always going to be a little bit more medium well done, and we love that for our guests that have that. And then once you get towards that center, you're going to
keep
find
going,
a perfect,
Tommy, if you want to.
perfect medium rare.
How thick do you want to go here?
Well, whatever you want to do, man. Keep cutting while you're happy.
That crust, man. Look at that
That bark
crust.
is just, that's what it's all about. You want to make sure that when you pull your prime rib out, you want to let it rest for about 20 to 25 minutes, because if not, you're noticing all the juices are staying inside of the muscle versus steeping out. And that is just so very important. Now you're starting to see that medium rare coming about.
That's looking
and
like
you know
a
what?
king.
It is. You know, we have a nice au jus back here for it. You can do a great horseradish sauce for it, or you can just eat it on your own. You know, the thing about this is, oh, that looks great.
Yeah, that's
perfect.
beautiful.
And what you want to notice is this is heavily seasoned on the outside.
What did you put on it?
You put salt, pepper. That's really all you need when you have a good piece of beef. And then I love from France herbs de Provence, because it's got lavender and it's got marjoram and thyme, and you can smell all those great herbs. And just look at how that's fantastic.
Dude,
when we come back, we're going to do
juice.
the turkey.
Like, look at that.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, that muscle's
just
nice
beautiful.
and compact. Again, the resting of that meat is really, really important. And also, prior to that, you want to make sure the meat is brought up to room temperature before you put it in the oven, because if not, your outside's going to be cooked, your inside's not going to be cooked.
And this took how long?
That took about 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Wow.
At what temperature?
We were in there at 350 degrees.
All right, very good. Taking notes. We'll be right
Amazing.
back with a special gift from this one to this one.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Hi, I'm Barbara Corcoran. I'm constantly asked by news sources how to best navigate today's real estate market. I call the brightest agents in the business to get their input. Hi, Kelly. What's going on in the Mahoney Valley area?
Hi, Barbara. The market in the Mahoning Valley has remained strong.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Sellers are enjoying the safety of the Guaranteed Sold program, and buyers and sellers love the 3D tour and the free moving truck.
Get the best advice from my friend Kelly Warren. Go to kellysoldit.com. Be safe and smart.
Pets are part of the family, and at RC Compounding, their pharmacists make your pet a priority.
Pain management is a big one with animals, especially if they have cancer or like end of life. They're unable to take tablets or capsules, and we're able to customize it into a solution that an owner could administer pretty easily without, difficulty of having them swallow a tablet or capsule if they're not able to.
RC Compounding, we care about your health.
No hot water? Call A to Z Dependable Services. Our fully stocked rapid response water heater specialist will get you back in hot water in no time. A to Z is the only call you need to make.
Only A to Z.com.
Oh man.
Well, the cutting fun has begun in a very big way. Thanks to Tom Matthews and Crooked River Forge for being here in Pesto's Test Kitchen.
Thank you.
I'm going to let the man love continue.
I know,
Man
because
meatloaf,
Tommy and I have been talking
right?
about a special project for a long time.
And it's finally here.
I'm a big fan
how
of
long?
Game of Thrones.
Yes, you are.
Wow. I just said, Tommy, in your spare time, make this. So I've been a huge Game of Thrones fan, and I love the way the knives look on that, and I wanted a Game of Thrones inspired Thanksgiving carving knife and fork, because I want to pass it down from Canzonetta generation to generation to generation. And there was only one guy I wanted to make that knife for me, so I haven't seen it yet. He's talked to me. He's posted little blips that have made me crazy.
Right? We actually have some of the books on
I know.
All right, let's see it.
All right. So
Describe it
this
to
definitely took me out of my box, which I love to do from time to time.
My God.
The stag is mule deer that came from a friend of mine that I served over in Desert Storm with. He lives out in Arkansas.
Man.
I did some walnut, leather stack.
Oh my God.
Brass.
It's above expectation. So
brass
far
liners in there.
This is crazy.
Tommy, are you kidding
Oh my
me?
God! And the way you made the antler go to feel in your hand.
Ergonomic, right?
It's very ergonomic. Oh my God.
You better all look out back there.
So let's see how it works, because
Oh my
that's
God.
going to be the true test.
I wanted to have something special at Thanksgiving. We roasted this beautiful turkey, and we're just going to go down. You follow the breastbone. Oh my God, it's like cutting through butter. It's like cutting through butter. And you just
So
follow the
breastbone
all the way down. You follow the skeleton, and that's all you do.
So you shouldn't try and just shave off like layer.
I do that when I get to the end. So I just cut this off, and we're gonna pull this off.
Do you need any help?
No.
Okay,
And I'm just gonna put it right there, and just look at that. And then, Tommy, look at how little pressure. This knife is so perfectly balanced, and I am just slicing through it like it is a hot knife going through butter. Guys, enjoy that. Tommy, it's been an honor to have you on the show. This knife is so ridiculous. Look at the craftsmanship on that blade.
Thank you.
And everything. Tommy, thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you, brother. I hope your family enjoys that for many years.
generations. So anyway,
Thanksgiving.
happy Thanksgiving to all of
Happy
our
fall.
friends out there.
Happy Thanksgiving.
So
Continued success, my friend.
Thank you.
We love you around here. He's invited back whenever he wants, pretty much, I think.
always welcome.
Awesome.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Lauren.
You're welcome.
Always good to see good people coming together, and like we mentioned before in the show, Tommy is dealing with cancer, so any support, any well wishes, of course, send them his way. We hope that he makes a full and wonderful recovery. All right, let's switch gears. The housing market, you never know what's going to be happening. That's why Kelly Warren, she is such a trusted, valuable resource on our show. All right, Kel, you and I, we had a good time together, didn't we? Well, it is fall, and we've had a beautiful fall.
We sure have. I love every minute of it.
Kelly Warren from Kelly Warren and Associates and I walking through a beautiful property and a gigantic piece of property in the middle of Austintown, which you don't often see. 2 parcels here.
Right.
All right, so take me through what this parceling is, because there's 2 words that I've never heard before, and you said them today.
I was teaching Lauren land value theories.
Land value theories, everybody, okay? Get your notepads out. Mine's over there.
Assemblage and plottage.
Assemblage and plottage. Ron's going to put those up on the screen so you can write them down.
So we all know that land is valuable, right? If you're a landowner, you've got something of value. Everybody wants to own real estate. And it's been like that forever and ever, right? So sometimes land is more valuable when you take smaller pieces and add them together.
Okay. Assemblage.
And sometimes it's more valuable when you take a big piece of land, like 50 acres of farmland, and you divide it up into small lots and make a subdivision out of it.
Plottage.
Yes.
Okay, so that is the difference. And on this particular property, 2 parcels, 1 home.
Right.
So what does that have to do with taxes, and like, could you build something else? What does that do?
So you pay for both parcels. You're going to get 2 tax bills in the mail, but the second smaller parcel that nothing's on is, I mean, I didn't look it up, but it's probably like a $30 or a $70 tax bill. It's not a lot.
Not a big deal.
Right. Your main house on your main parcel is going to be your bigger tax bill, but the 2 together, what's nice is you've got a deeper lot, you've got more room to do stuff. You asked, could you build on it? If you wanted to build a driveway going straight back in a second garage, you sure could. So you can't put a whole second house on it. You can't open a store on it. You have to follow zoning regulations. But could you expand your house? Could you put up an extra garage? Could you do a swimming pool or a deck or whatever? Certainly.
Wow, there's lots of different types of pieces of property out there. Sometimes you get a second home. Sometimes, you never know what you're going to be, looking at. And you guys are really good at helping people navigate those decisions.
Yeah, well, you need to know what the rules and the laws are before you move forward on a property so that it fits all of your needs.
And of course, this is still, we're still talking about this home that is on this particular property. We'll give you some video of it. It's beautiful. It's a flip. And location is always a big deal. And land.
Yeah.
Can we say a couple more L's in there? Yeah. Can I do that? Is that a fair statement?
It is.
Okay.
It is. Yeah.
All right. Very good. Give everybody at home the contact information, not just for the real estate folks, but for also the mortgage lenders that work with you guys, because there's so many different questions that come up, especially with stuff like this, that you guys have, people right there.
Yeah, whether you're buying or selling or renovating or refinancing, our in-house lenders, Valley Mortgage, would love to help you out with that. While rates are remaining low, it's a great time to do that. You can get them at the same place you can get us, 330-717-2689, or online at kellysoldit.com.
And I do have to reference this just one more time for people. we are constantly looking at Zillow, constantly looking at Realtor.com. You guys do give a service where anything new that's posted within what it is that you're looking for.
Yeah, and we can get real
instant.
specific on it. If you're
Yes.
like, I need a house that has more than a half an acre of land, we can put that in there, and so that you're not sorting through on your own trying to find that. That
Zooming,
exactly comes right to
clicking,
you.
Is this exactly where I want to be? What school district is it? Because some streets are
Right.
one and then the other street's the other. So they make it very simple for you. And give their whole team a call. I have to say, working with you guys for all these years, it's always been so much fun. So tell everybody
always
I
a
said
joy for us,
hi,
too.
okay?
Thank you.
Oh yeah, she has to say that because we're on TV right now. Plottage and assemblage. We are always learning things on this show, and the learning continues right here at Vernon's Cafe. Vernon, this is your son Trey.
That's my
Denise,
son,
this is your
Trey.
son Trey.
This is the next generation.
That's exciting. Cheers to you and a happy birthday.
Thank you.
At the ripe old age of 24, he has decided to go into the family business. How does that make you guys feel?
Feels great.
Yeah, we're happy about it.
I would imagine so.
Crazy hours, but we're happy about
It's a lot of work, but
It
you
sure,
can do it.
it sure is, and I think you come from, you know, a lot of that when it comes to hard work and the values and making sure that everything's really good. You guys have a beautiful new space.
Oh yeah.
Was it fun?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was stressful for a little bit, but it's well deserved.
Yeah, I would say so. All right, favorite thing on the menu right now? Sorry to put you on the spot.
Don't say ramen.
Don't say ramen.
Veal and peppers for sure.
Veal and peppers. What about you, Janine? You have to have a favorite, right?
I do. I'm gonna have to say Bronzino.
Bronzino.
One of my favorites, yes.
All right, your
Don't
turn.
ask.
Don't ask.
No.
All right. Cheers
Too
to
many
you
things.
guys. So many decades of success and great
Thank you.
food, and thank you to our friends at Steel Light.
Yes, absolutely. Steel Light makes it all happen.
This is absolutely
Yeah.
gorgeous. What are we drinking
Without
right now?
the vessel,
it doesn't.
doesn't
you can't
exist.
do it. You
That's
can't really
right.
put a straw in the.
No,
well, you
not at
could,
all.
but that wouldn't be very good. Cheers to you guys. The hours, real quick,
The
before we say
hours,
goodbye and send it to
Tues-
Michael.
Tuesday through Thursday, 4 o'clock to 9, and Friday and Saturday, 4 o'clock to 10.
Well, I'm sorry that we're missing Michael, but this smells wonderful.
Oh, here's the Michael too. Sorry you couldn't make it.
All right, Michael, send it up to you, and you wrap this thing up, all right? Cheers, buddy.
And a toast to you guys too. Great show today. I really wanted to thank everybody for watching on this Sunday. And if you want to watch, maybe you caught the tail end of it and you didn't get to see the whole thing, or you missed one of the stories. Lots of ways you can find us. Valley Spotlight has its own Roku channel. We're on Vimeo, YouTube. We have our, we're all over Facebook and Instagram. If you missed a story, sometimes they'll pop up here and there. The best way, I think, is to go to valleyspotlight.com. You can watch entire episodes there. All right, Halloween is over, but we all still kind of love it. So they did an awesome haunted house at Squaw Creek, and I thought we would just show you what that looked like as we say goodbye. Have a good Sunday, everybody. If you like this video, subscribe to Valley Spotlight on YouTube and be sure to click on the notifications bell so you know when we've got some new stuff. You also can like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to us on Vimeo or our Roku channel.